Hello, welcome back, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. We are back with another Unmasking Magic. And this is the name of the video is Five Scary Things Caught on Camera, Witches. So, yes, and this was requested by two of our viewers, Rooster and Megan. So, thank you.
Yay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for the
yeah. And
suggestion.
I think it's a Nuke's top five, as a matter of fact. So
Okay,
they always do some good stuff. Should we just go ahead and jump right in?
let's jump in.
All right,
Yeah,
let's do
let's
this.
do it.
Top 5 scary things caught on camera. Witches. The Witch of Del Rey. Rose Veres was a Hungarian immigrant who ran a boarding house in the Del Rey neighborhood of Detroit, Michigan. Neighbors believed that Rose was a witch and possessed magical powers. Everyone in her boarding house feared her and refused to look her in the eye. But the story gets even creepier, because 12 men, possibly more, passed away under mysterious circumstances while living in Rose's boarding house. Rose was arrested in 1931, and newspapers dubbed her, quote, the Witch of Del Rey. In this next video, a man who claims to be a policeman says he was filming outside the famous boarding house of the Witch of Del Rey when this happened.
I was on one of my recent calls. There was a domestic disturbance over in Del Rey, and it turned out to be resolved by the time I got there. But some people yell, and then they stop yelling. By the time I got there, I noticed there were some peculiar noises coming from a neighboring house. Please bear with me. I'm not professional at this, but here are some stills and footage I took.
We're here on Medina Street. With this thing on. The house appears abandoned. Know a lot about fires, and this looks like an isolated incident coming from within the home. Not very old.
I had no warrant, and I certainly did not want to enter if you see for yourself what I saw.
Hello! Hello!
On the force, you learn to trust your gut, to trust yourself, and I was jeopardizing my safety. But the sounds I heard, and now you've heard, I cannot explain them.
So is this the ghost of the famous Witch of Del Rey taking a quick look out the window? Or is it all just a hoax? You decide.
First of all, I have to laugh out loud at she has magical powers.
Yes. Yes, that is always funny. Yes, that is very funny. Um, just like us, um, witches, we don't have any magical powers.
Oh,
The human does not have magical powers.
no.
Um, so
Mm-mm.
yeah.
It's not like Bewitched.
No, unfortunately. Yeah, now
Uh,
that's a witch I could be friends with.
right?
Yes.
That's the kind of,
Yeah.
as a kid,
Hmm.
I always wanted to be her.
Oh,
Always wanted to be
Samantha,
Bewitched.
wasn't that her name? Samantha?
Samantha, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I do want to say something that I did not say in the intro
Yeah.
is if we make a statement that is like a about witches and you're a witch or you know a witch and it offends you because that's not who we are or that's not, then we're not talking about you. I want to make that clear.
Mm-hmm.
That we come from the place of the witches that we come in contact with are never nice. They want to hurt people. They cross boundaries. They're not ethical, nor are they moral very often. So
Mm-hmm.
that's who we're talking about. So if we do make those sort of bold, all-encompassing statements,
Generalized, yeah.
yes, just that if that's not you, that's not you. And we know there are witches, pagans, all sorts of different types of practices out there that are not what we're talking about. But when we're in here and we're talking, you know, so just so you know.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good
So I
point.
wanted to say it because I forgot to say it in the beginning. All right. So this serial killer is what she was. um, very possible I definitely got witchy vibes from it.
As did I.
However, I think she was a serial killer and she was a psychopath, something like the sociopath. I don't know which path,
All of the
the crooked
above.
path. Yes. So, and they came together. They came together. What? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna disagree with that. Figure was her ghost.
Okay.
I don't quite know what words to use here to describe what I'm getting. She placed that energy in that home as part of the ownership of it.
Ooh, boy, does that land. That's like ton of bricks type landing, like whoop, like a major yes. Yes. Because you can, so spells don't just go away. They're there until.
Until.
So a lot of spells she did, she really, we're talking psycho. Like clearly,
Mhm.
if she killed that many people and it was for probably for their money or something like that. I don't really know. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna look as to that end of it as
Right.
why she did it. I think what feels like her spells were done because she really thought that, I mean, she was total narcissist and I can't diagnose her,
So
but
she thought she had magical powers.
yes, yes. And that was part of her delusion too.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, ooh, were the men offerings,
Oh, that just made me retch.
right?
Yeah.
That just flew in. The man, so she was offering them up to the whoever, whoever she prayed to, and she thought it made her more powerful. And total delusion. And really,
And yet, in that delusion, the
yeah,
more she believed it, the more she portrayed it, and the more other people believed it.
yes, 100%.
So if you believe something strong enough, it is true.
Yes, yes, 100%.
Hmm. As crazy making as it is.
Woo, yeah. So that was so in a sense, yes, it was her in the window, but it
Yes.
wasn't her in the window.
Was not her ghost.
Right. No,
I don't believe
no,
she is an earthbound spirit.
no. Now, would it be like a shattered piece of her? I know that you said it would, all that witchcraft, all the stuff that she did, and she was certainly mental. I'm And the reason that typically Mari-Lyn and I are pretty clear, soul piece, shattered piece, um, whatever it is, we can usually sort of. However, I think there is so much magic that's still left in there and very sort of confusing. I can't tell. And now it could be, and I've forgotten what you said. It was just because she did so much in that house, right? What did you?
It
Can't
was her
remember.
placement of her energy
That's
in
it.
her ownership of the space.
And is that how she
Sure.
controlled people too?
Yes.
So that was there even when she was living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which we all know, wrong which we all know one of the ways that witches are able to do what they do is through fear. They have you so scared that they can do something. In this case, she certainly could, but it wasn't witchcraft that she was killing them with. But she kept them so scared. I'm watching you all the time. There's nowhere for you to go. You try to get help, I'll know it. And had that part of her searching. And that part is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Yuppie.
Woo-wee. Man, well, Nukes is starting out on fire here.
Creepy.
Yeah. All right. Should we head on to the next one?
Yes.
Woo. All right. Let's go. Number 4.
Cabin in the woods.
Ooh, like some
Twitter poster named Greg claims that after his grandfather passed away, he inherited an isolated lake cabin located deep in the woods. He decided to stay there for the winter while trying to sell the house. But Greg says that someone soon began to leave strange things outside his home, including this odd wooden symbol that was left hanging on his doorknob. He says that soon after he began to find more of the strange trinkets around his property. And late one night, while Greg was wandering around outside, he saw this. A strange woman, bald, and seemingly with only pale skin where her eyes should be, was standing in the darkness outside his home. Greg says that he could only describe the woman as a witch, but he doesn't know who she was or why she was there. Now, of course, most people believe Greg's story to be yet another Twitter ARG or internet horror fiction, but many of his 100,000 Twitter followers believe his story to be something more. And of course, Greg claims that his story is 100% real. So is this Twitter tale fact or fiction? Is this the true story of a lonely mountain cabin and what could be a mysterious witch in the woods? Or is it just another intricate Twitter creepypasta? You decide. By the way, you can read more of Greg's story on his Twitter at Gregory88.
So, one thing I will say is I believe, and you all can let me know, they did a movie about this. Because I think my husband and I are big horror fans. We watch a lot. So I can't remember the name of the movie. I'm not one of those that can remember the name of everything. But we
Okay.
watch a lot of horror stuff. And this looks really super familiar.
Mm.
I know that at the beginning with the little triangle things and whatever, that's such a Blair Witch Witch from that movie. But then when you saw the woman out there, you know, I have to say, could that woman have been, I really don't get anything one way or the other on that woman. I think it's a hoax on him personally.
I don't know that I can really say that I believe it's one or the other. Is it 100% true? I get a no.
Right. I got that too.
Is it 100% false? I kind of get a no.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there were some witchcraft things and an opportunity to just run with it
Mm-hmm.
presented itself.
Mm-hmm. What comes for me, so I stand by a hoax.
Mhm.
Like there are some neighbors or something. Some people like to be in the woods, or maybe it's a neighbor. I don't know. They did it to scare him. Like I think they're hoaxing him, and then maybe he took it and then ran with it once it stopped
Okay,
or whatever.
sure. Yeah, that I could buy into that.
Yeah. So please let us all know. That was number 4. Let us know what you all think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 3.
All right.
Bruha in the basement. In a very strange video from Colombia, a family claims that they are tormented by the spirit of a Bruha, or witch, who haunts their home. In this clip, they are woken in the middle of the night by bizarre moans coming from downstairs.
Son las 1:30 de la mañana. Estoy otra vez acá en la casa. Están molestando como siempre. Esta vez quise grabar. Aquí está la Marianita. Voy a despertar a Junior. Juniorcito.
No, señora.
Papi, levántese que es que otra vez están molestando. ¿Otra vez están molestando acá en la puerta? Vamos, entonces, pero grabemos esto. Cristian está acá abajo del... Cristian, ven, tus compañeros estén pendientes que otra vez están molestando en la puerta. Están molestando acá. Vamos, vale. Pila, Joanita.
Mami, ¿te oye? ¿Te escucha?
Mami, pero que van a abrir allá.
Mami, vamos.
Por favor, cuidado con la niña, por favor, por Dios. Dios mío, Señor, guarda, cubra tu sangre preciosa, Señor, por favor.
Bueno, una bolita.
Mira, ¿se están escuchando?
Mami, ahora vamos a por ti.
Pero quiero la nene de la mano. No soy por eso. El hombre de Jesús. Que tenga la lista ahí, tranquilo.
¿Qué te diga? No te vas a salir, por favor.
Ven, tenga la penilla lista. Cristian, quédate atrás. Que se de nosotros.
Quede calmada.
Déjame bajar la cocina.
Mami, te oyes abajo.
Mami, abajo. Sí. Cójala. Yo no pise. Que traes a la niña.
No,
Cristian.
no subirse algo, nosotros andamos en una bolita ahorita.
Vamos a bajar por el sótano. Agarro con la penilla.
En nombre de Jesús. No, espere, yo no quiero bajar solo.
Bájale todo. Baje, Cristian. Dame la luz.
¿No entra el propio?
Sí,
Mami, está hacia allá, mire.
Sí, bájale. Acércale a hacer con la cámara. No está por allá.
Vamos.
Qué
peligro eso.
No, por eso voy a acercarla. En el nombre de Jesús. Ya déjenos en paz.
En el nombre de Jesús. Vamos a ver arriba.
Cristo, Cordero de Dios. ¿Qué es eso? Abajo. Vaya, niña. Vámonos acá, vámonos de acá.
Ya, pero déjame.
Pero vámonos ya. Abajo está. Mami, vámonos rápido.
As is probably evident from the potato video quality, this clip has been passed around the internet to the point that the original source is no longer known. So unfortunately, there's no follow-up and no information on what happened to the family. But what's your opinion? Does it look like this family is being haunted by the spirit of a witch? Or is it all just a hoax and some fake hysteria? Which?
All right. You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Sure.
I don't think it's a hoax. I think there might have been someone living down there or someone down there.
Okay.
I mean, all kinds of things were running through my head as we were watching that. Yeah, poof. I don't know.
I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing.
That was a rough one.
I couldn't move beyond the energy of the family.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, it did bring up for me, we did a clearing in Mexico City
Mm-hmm.
where this family, the daughter had broken up with someone and the mother was a witch, and it was an awful, it was quite the thing. She pushed the mother down, the mother down, broke her arm, was torturing the animals, not just in her yard, but around the neighborhood. Like, it was a nasty thing. And that kept coming up, but the energy was so different. So what I kept thinking was, Spirit, are you trying to show me that what they're saying is not true? Like, I don't.
Could very well be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very often we won't get anything because it's not witchcraft. There isn't a ghost. There isn't anything energetic going on. I think there was someone down there. I think there was someone down there, an actual person living down there or something like that. Yeah, it's a shame that no one knows where this came from, whatever.
Yeah.
We could, any of these, I mean, we could totally help all of these situations. But,
totally.
Yeah. That's, but you could feel the hysteria from that family is absolutely real. Yeah. Do you think?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't even know that much. Okay.
I don't even know. Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah. Happens.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So off to number 2.
Number 2.
Witch's Walkway. Mike from the YouTube channel The In Vegas Style set up a motion-activated security camera outside his home after neighbors told him that some suspicious teens were skulking around his house while he was at work. Sure enough, he caught video of someone who seemed to be casing his home, repeatedly walking up to his house to check things out. Mike posted the video online and notified his neighbors to be on the lookout. Luckily, everything worked out, and there was never a break-in or any property vandalism. Now, cut to 2 years later. Mike still has his motion-activated security camera installed, monitoring the street outside his home. Well, on this particular day, the camera catches something very bizarre. The camera begins recording as Mike's wife pulls into their garage, but the footage is digitally distorted. It's so pixelated that it almost looks like the camera is damaged or receiving some serious interference. But notice the strange figure walking down the sidewalk, and then the video clears for one brief frame to reveal this. For just an instant, we see clear footage of something that appears to be right out of a horror movie. It looks like some misshapen thing with a long nose and a tiny head, dressed in very bizarre clothing. Now, as I mentioned, there is heavy distortion in the clip, but it seems very odd that the person or thing in the video seems to be much more distorted than the surroundings. Mike says that his surveillance camera has never malfunctioned before this clip, and has never malfunctioned since. This is the only time this ever happened. So, what do you think? Is this simply digital distortion rearranging the features of an average person? Could it be someone wearing a mask? And either way, why does this odd glitch only occur right as this person enters the frame? Is it a witch, a creature, a thing, or simply digital distortion? Let me know what you think.
I think it's, yeah. I think it's just video distortion. And
I'm not so sure.
Oh, okay. What do you get?
I don't want to say what I get.
Why? That's what we're here to do.
I know. When you first see the person in the video,
Mhm.
there's more than one being there.
Okay.
I saw 3 beings,
Okay.
one of which appeared to be animal-like that runs into the yard.
All right.
I get either extraterrestrial or interdimensional.
Okay. Very interesting.
And the interference, well, regardless of whichever it was, their vibration absolutely is going to fuck up that camera. I'm surprised the camera ever worked right again.
Yes, yes. And that we've seen that happen. I mean, that is a real thing.
Mhm.
Some of these, interdimensional beings.
If this was a being, regardless of where it came from,
Mhm.
what we saw, that's not what it looked like. It was definitely distorted.
Okay.
I believe. I don't think that was a clear picture of what it actually looked like. But that's what I was getting.
Okay. You all let us know what you think in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you can see, sometimes we disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what's really kind of fun about having more than just one person look,
Mhm.
is that,
Mhm.
things-
And I could totally be wrong,
sure.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I got.
That's what you got. Well, you got to say what you get.
Got to.
That's right.
Got to. All right.
All right. Last one. These are really good, by the way. Thanks, y'all, for requesting these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Cage. Now, this next clip already appeared in a top 5 list on this channel a year ago, but no top 5 list of witches caught on camera would be complete without it. In fact, this is probably one of the creepiest paranormal videos I've ever seen. So, in the small town of St. Osyth in Essex, UK, there is a very old abandoned prison called The Cage. The prison is unique in that for over 400 years, it served as a jail to confine and execute women convicted of witchcraft. Paranormal researcher Brian Mack and his crew went to the site to perform an investigation into the supposed supernatural activity in the prison. While there, the crew said that they heard strange footsteps and whispers. Lights turned on and off by themselves, and members of the crew were bitten or pinched by something that they couldn't see. The experience was so frightening that some crew members actually refused to continue with the investigation. But the creepiest and most bizarre experience of all came when Brian Mack's team attempted to perform a seance, while Brian observed from the other room.
Face has completely changed. Doesn't even look like a person.
Right, Debbie, you need to come down here for a minute, please.
Oh, weird, man. eyes were black.
As the seance begins, one of the women's face seems to transform and contort in a horrifying way. Her nose seems to grow and her mouth curves into a bizarre, inhuman grin.
Your face has completely changed. Doesn't even look like a person.
Right, Debbie, you need to come down here for a minute, please.
Oh, weird. Her eyes were black.
The researchers become worried and call the woman out of the room. It was later found that even though the woman had been wearing several layers of thick clothing, she had a bizarre burn mark down the back of her neck. After the investigation, the woman says that she had horrible nightmares and experienced strange things around her home. So was this woman possessed by the spirit of a witch? Or is it all just a trick of the light and the camera angle? A very, very bizarre trick. Let me know what you think.
So, I don't think witchcraft had anything to do with it.
I agree.
If in fact, because I can't even tell you for sure this, but my experience would tell you she was junk. Which Mari-Lyn knows something about that. That would be my experience would tell you that. I didn't actually get much from the video itself. It could absolutely be lighting, that sort of thing. Weird thing. They had a candle, there were shadows, there was whatever. It certainly looked like she could have been making faces. I mean, there's all sorts of, but in fact, if something, it would be, my experience, again, would say she was jumped. If something did.
Which is different from being possessed.
Yes.
She was not possessed.
No. And it wasn't witchcraft.
Agree, it wasn't witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would I go into that building? In a hot freaking minute.
Which means I would have to go into and I wouldn't want to.
Would I have a seance in there? Hell no.
Well, but in all fairness, you wouldn't have a seance at home either, or at my house, or at whatever.
No, I wouldn't do a
Seances are
seance.
just ridiculous. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I mean, the burn mark on her back, I didn't look like a burn mark.
Right.
I don't know. I will say, is there activity in that building?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
All kinds of activity.
Yes.
Was she affected? Maybe. Yeah, it's not cut and dried for me.
And I do want to say this, that I can only speak for America. I don't know other places around the world where they burned witches or drowned them or whatever. And like the Salem witch trials, there were no actual witches killed. They were just women who other people didn't like, or they were doing something. I mean, maybe there was, so, but as far as like witches, there really were not. I mean, that's sort of been proven that it just became so, there was so much hysteria. It started with two little girls who were playing, 2 or 3 little girls. I can't remember. Now I'm confused. I can't remember that. But who were playing a joke. They didn't want to get in trouble. So they said the maid did something and it created this other thing. And so it started by her. And then the hysteria went. And then anytime you could turn in a neighbor for anything. And there were just as many men who were killed as women, which they don't talk about that either. And it just became a thing. Like if your neighbor pissed you off, you would just call the authorities and say it was a witch because something happened and
it's crazy.
And they would, And so
crazy making.
And so I'm going to say it was probably similar in other countries, but I don't know
Probably.
for sure. Certainly from England. I mean,
Yeah.
they started from there. So anyway, great videos though, and there was a lot going on. And I'm sure I know we have witches that watch this, and I'm sorry that you're always put in such bad light because you're not all bad. There's some really great people out there. You just like I don't know, whatever it is about like the craft that you like, and you're not out there hurting anyone. It's just for your own stuff. You clear spaces, whatever. Um, I'm sorry that this kind of stuff happens because then you get a really bad rap. Also, the assholes that we take care of, the witches, they give you a bad rap as well. So anyway,
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that there is a profession or a practice out there that doesn't have the full gamut of
yeah,
title,
absolutely.
you
Yes.
know?
People who do it for good, people who do it for bad, people who do it for money.
Yeah.
People, yeah.
People
So
who scam.
100%.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
piss me off the most are the ones who have been doing this a while and they put spells on people for money.
Mm.
Someone comes along and is upset that the boyfriend or husband cheated on her. I want the girlfriend taken care of. I want that, and people just, and then the witch just does it for money. I think that is so unconscionable.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's probably a whole nother video. But I think it was only the first one with that serial killer, right? That we found to be like real witchcraft.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Those were great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. And certainly Rooster and Megan,
Yes.
appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
So very much. And
Yeah.
if you haven't already, subscribe, like, share, do all that fabulous stuff.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.